Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augmented Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I am your host as usual, and obviously welcome back to the show. Today's episode 197 of the show, and before we get started, into a house cleaning quick, because, well, you guys don't like to do it around here, and it only makes sense to do it, so let's just get on with the house cleaning. I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys constantly take time out of your days to download these episodes, to share these episodes, to constantly keep letting me know how you feel, whether you like my stupid face or my opinions, and whatever else you probably like or don't like about me. Obviously, we're not doing a video version. Well, we are doing the video version, but you actually can't see my face due to the fact that, the whole cam light thing is still being dumb. And we genuinely just can't figure out a solution to it. So we're just doing the show like how we always did it before we started doing videos. But I do want to say thank you guys for coming back, because some of you guys like watching this on YouTube. Some of you guys like listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to your podcast. So for me, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate the downloads, the shares. It all really means a lot to me. I also want to thank the Patreon backers as well for supporting the show, because, well, you guys support me. So I greatly appreciate you guys as well. So let's get on with today's episode, since it's kind of going to coincide with the Christmas special next week. So we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite today. You guys voted on the poll. The other topic was the Oculus Quest 2, since I just recently got one, and I have some some thoughts about it, since it's my first experience really going all in with VR. But we are going to talk about Halo Infinite today. It's been out, the multiplayer has been out for a month, and at the time of this recording, about to be a month, and then when it goes live, exactly a month. And the campaign came out on December the 8th, so I do have some thoughts. I do want to make this very clear, though. We're not going to be doing spoilers for the campaign. We're not going to be going we're not going to be trying to do by the benchmarks and everything like that. What we're doing here is giving my honest opinion and feedback that I have for 343 regarding Halo Infinite, how I felt so far playing through the campaign, for what I have played through, how I felt playing through the multiplayer the past couple, the past couple weeks, or at this point now a month. But I also want to give it from the perspective of somebody that really loves Halo, because I remember during the 360 days, I remember playing through Halo 3 online with my friends, Halo Reach. I did play Halo 4. I did play Halo 5. I did go through Halo. went through all the Halo campaigns on Legendary and beat them all with my friend. So for me, Halo Infinite, there was a lot of, I wouldn't say hype. Hype is one way to describe it, but I feel like a better way would be, I had a lot of expectations going into Halo Infinite, given how I felt after Halo 5, where I still say Halo 5's multiplayer was good. I just felt like all the Spartan abilities were just kind of dumb and annoying, and I felt the campaign was just pure abysmal. However, seeing how the Master Chief Collection started off, oh boy, we were in for a rough ride. But once they finally fixed all the issues, put a lot of love and attention, and then they brought it to PC, and I just remembered playing through that with my friends, and we still play it. Obviously, right now, most of the attention is towards Halo Infinite, given that's the current Halo out right now. But to me, Halo Infinite has been a very positive experience. I can say that from my personal experience, that it has been a very positive one, and I've enjoyed every second. However, that doesn't mean that there aren't issues and that there aren't concerns that I have going forward. So let's talk about the good things first. Overall, I love the gunplay. I think that's I could say it's understated, but everyone's been saying that the gunplay, the actual controls themselves are incredibly solid. They're phenomenal. I'm really enjoying how the vehicles are handling. I'm enjoying how the guns are handling, except some of them, and we'll get to the whole bad stuff a little bit later. I'd say overall the multiplayer experience has been a very good one. However, there are flaws with it, which we will talk about. the campaign itself, again, we're not going into spoilers because, we're not doing a full-blown review and talking about like the campaign in detail and things like that. But I will say I've been very pleased with the campaign so far. I'd say the campaign from what I played on Legendary, it's going to kick your ass. It'll give you a challenge, and I think it's well worth a challenge, especially, people say this is the most ambitious Halo ever, and I'm like, well, in terms of a campaign, yes, and the scale of everything, the semi-open world, I will say there are flaws with it, which we will get to those a little bit right now. Actually, let's talk about them right now. I do have some pretty big concerns with Halo Infinite, though. I know we could talk about the progression system and how it's pretty much dog cheeks. We could talk about how the playlists, the lack thereof, or at least at the time of recording, they have added some, but, they're still working on adding more. And I would also say some issues with the campaign. But one of the issues that I haven't seen a lot of people actually talk about is the controller layout. I think the way that they changed the button layout is terrible. I genuinely believe that it's like, I love the idea, or I love the fact that they added the custom option where you can set your own buttons and stuff like that. However, I don't like that the recon is not good, and that, we had in the Master Chief Collection, we literally had the best button layout as the universal recon, and you mean to tell me that we somehow screwed it up from going from the Master Chief Collection to Infinite? I know that sounds like me nitpicking. Guys, I don't know how in God's green earth this is possible. How do you go from an already good button layout to a terrible one? Like, it just baffles my brain. I think it's just incredibly stupid, to be honest. I'm being honest with you. It's stupid. I don't know why they didn't get it right the first time. I just don't understand why. Another complaint that I do have is with the campaign specifically is that there are sections where it does feel like it's a little bit too... It kind of feels a little bit too much like Far Cry. And if you know what people mean by that, they mean like the Ubisoft effect, where there tends to be a lot of repetitions with like side missions and stuff like that. And it just gets kind of annoying. Like, are they nice? Yeah, because some of these side quests could give you, armors that can be used in multiplayer, or, say different guns or special variants of guns that can be used during the campaign and during your campaign playthrough. I think that's a very important thing. So I think there's pros and cons with it. However, I do feel like it kind of does borderline a little bit of, sometimes it gets a little too much like Far Cry and like the Ubisoft game, like how Ubisoft games usually are with grindy stuff. I do also want to say another thing is I haven't gone through all the campaigns, so we're still going through that. But I do want to say that it's just been, I don't know. I think with me, the campaign, from what I've seen, I've enjoyed it, but I do feel like, it does feel like it might be a little bit dry sometimes. So far I'm enjoying it, but I do feel like there are moments where it kind of feels a bit dry, but that's just my personal opinion. I'd say the multiplayer, another issue really comes down, well, I can't even say lag is an issue because there's not really so much lag. However, the playlist thing is just so stupid. Like, if I'm being genuinely honest with you guys, the playlist stuff is stupid. The fact that I can't just go into a game of team deathmatch by itself. Like, this, keep in mind, this is before like the whole, like they added some playlists and things like that. Like, I'm talking about the first couple weeks of playing this game. Yeah, it was kind of annoying. Like, I'm just trying to play, Team Slayer. I'm not trying to go into oddball and stuff like, like, to me, I get it. There's a lot of things going on at 343. I get it. They finally got the game out. Everyone's really happy about it. However, I do feel like there's just some small little things that they really should have focused on when it came to getting this game out there. I just think I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's fair criticism, because the whole point is like, you have to give them criticism, guys, here. Like, they're asking for it. Like, hey, how can we make this better? Because we understand it's not perfect. Let's not just be like, oh yeah, man, it's the greatest thing ever, bro. You guys made a perfect game. No issues, no problems. Like, no. Give them feedback, give them constructive criticism, help them improve the game, because there are flaws. Like the progression system, they still got to work that out, man. I get it. They made some changes along the way. However, progression system still pretty donkey doo-doo. It's pretty bad. And it kind of sucks because you had a really good progression system with the Master Chief Collection, and I don't get how we couldn't, use that. Just saying, you had a perfectly good progression system right there in front of you. You could have just kept it. Nobody would have cared, and I get it. They don't want people blowing through it easily and stacking up coins and just blowing through seasons. However, guys, who cares? It's a game. People are going to play it no matter what, even if there's nothing to get progression-wise. Like, if your game is good, the multiplayer is great, people will still keep playing it. Like, there's people that still play the MCC, and they've already breezed through all the passes. Like, you get what I mean? Like, people still keep playing a game, even if, like, the progression system itself, or I wouldn't say that it's bad, but, like, once you unlock everything in the battle pass or the season pass or whatever it may be, they're still going to keep playing it. They like playing the game. If the game is good and the multiplayer is good and the experience is fun, they're going to keep playing it. It doesn't matter if there's nothing to unlock. They'll still keep playing it. Look at Fortnite. Those suckers keep playing that game, and they, there's people that have everything. They have the full maxed out battle pass. They still keep playing it once they have everything. It's just how it is. You don't have to make it super grindy so that, people keep playing our game so they can unlock everything. I'm like, homie, make it simple. Make it easy. Make it enjoyable and rewarding. Like, people still keep playing your game if it's good. That's just objective fact. That's just how things work. But another thing that kind of bothers me, and this is, I think another thing would have to be the crossplay situation, especially because, like, there's been reports going around that cheating is now becoming a little bit more prominent in Halo Infinite, especially with PC, because people understand that, well, modding is much easier to do on PC than it is on, say, the Xbox Series X and, the Xbox platform and PlayStation and stuff like that. That, yeah, obviously modding on PC is much easier and cheating is a lot more rampant on PC. I do believe that this is a pretty big issue because I haven't run into any cheating issues so far personally when I played with my friends, but a lot of people are reporting about that. I think they need to be putting that on the priority list of, hey, bucko, let's maybe disable crossplay. Maybe we should have made that a toggle from the get-go, just saying. It was there with the MCC when that came out on PC. It was a toggle, just saying. But here's another thing. The weapon balance. I know some people are going to say, Josh, you're probably just bad, bro. You're just bad. Guys, the sniper sucks. Like, objective fact, the sniper sucks dick in Halo Infinite. I know that sounds a bit harsh, and that probably sounds a little bit rude. However, it's bad. Like, in comparison to the other games that had really good snipers, like, I would say Halo Reach's sniper was great. I know some people swear by Halo CEs or Halo 2s or Halo 3s. I think Halo Reach had the best feeling sniper. That sniper was nice, sticky. You shoot at somebody's head, you felt like you blew their head off. And it's just like, I don't like that the sniper has bullet drop off now. That was a big issue that people had with the Scorpion tanks and later Halos, that they just kept nerfing the Scorpion as time went on because, well, they just kept nerfing it into oblivion. But I think right now the Scorpion's probably in a better place. I think the Pulse Rifle, or I think it's specifically the Pulse Carbine, my bad. The Pulse Carbine's bad. Like, some people try to swear that this thing is amazing in multiplayer. This thing is trash, guys. This thing is utter garbage. Like, just give us the Pulse Rifle back. Give us the original Pulse Rifle, not the, Storm Rifle. No, give us the OG that's actually good, because all these replacements, like the Pulse Carbine, trash, garbage. The Mauler, I love that gun to death. That gun is amazing. The Sidekick, I could see why some people say that, yeah. I could see why people say that it's probably the best pistol since the Halo CE hand cannon. Like, and that's saying a lot because people love the Halo CE Magnum. They really love that gun a lot. So I think the Sidekick is really good. I think the AR, some people say it might be too strong. I'm like, no, I think it's perfect. I think for where it's at, I don't think it's too strong. I think it's actually a really good weapon. I think that they should just leave it the way it is. It's perfectly fine, guys. It's not broken. The Needler, definitely in a good place too. It's not broken like it was in, I don't know if it was Halo 3 or if it was in Halo 2 where the Needler was just like stupid broken. In Halo Reach, it was not that good. It really wasn't. Now, one thing that is weird though is the fact that there are weapons missing. I think that the Spartan laser missing is stupid. I think the beam rifle missing is stupid. The pulse rifle missing, also stupid. I also think nerfing the plasma pistol and making it literally hit like you're throwing piss at somebody is kind of bad. I think that, hey guys, reducing this thing's damage and getting rid of the EMP was kind of a bad call. The EMP would be very useful, but I also understand the vehicles are also, at this point, looks like they're made out of wet paper, so you kind of can get away with not EMPing them so much. I like the shot grenades. The shot grenades, besides like being good for, vehicles and stuff like that, incredible for dealing with crowds. Like you just chuck them into a crowd, destroy all their shields, and then just mow them all down with like an AR or a battle rifle. Speaking of the battle rifle, yeah, I think the battle rifle is actually in a good, healthy spot. It's better than it is in Halo 3 because I still say the BAR in Halo 3 is complete dog water because it's inaccurate as piss. It really is. It's just horribly inaccurate. Like some people say, oh, you're just bad, bro. You're just bad. Like, no, guys. It's pretty inaccurate because of how that weapon functions in that game. Is it still better than mostly every other weapon in the game? Yeah, pretty much. However, that's not saying much when Halo 3's how'd you say, like Halo 3 sandbox is considered the most balanced of the bunch. It's just, hey, like everything kind of sucks except the sniper, except the BR, except like obviously the power weapons because they're all amazing. To me, the multiplayer has its pros, but it also has its cons because, like I said, there's still a lot of modes. There's still modes missing. There's still weapons missing. I think the progression system, to be honest, they should have just copied over what they had in the MCC. It was perfectly fine. I don't see why it was an issue. I would also say, like, it feels weird that Forge is missing. I know we're going to get it soon. I know that the co-op campaign is coming soon. So I'm not really going to dog 343 for that. But it just really stings that it's not available, even though I feel like once Forge comes out, and if it really is true that they really did go overboard with Forge and like actually allowed you to like code in, like properly use Java to code in whatever you want, like, okay, then that'd be a whole different story. I'm like, well, that was worth the wait because it's the biggest Forge expansion we've ever had. But to me, overall, Halo Infinite as a package, I don't think the campaign by itself is worth $60. I'm just saying that right now. I don't think any campaign is worth $60. Even some of my friends have said that to me. They're like, Josh, no campaign is worth $60, homie. No campaign is worth $60 by itself. Halo Infinite has a good campaign. I don't think it's a $60 campaign. Same thing with like Last of Us Part 2. I still hate that game. I don't even think God of War is worth $60 just for the campaign. I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake is worth $7. Like, you get what I mean? Is like, I don't think a standalone campaign game should be worth $60. No. It doesn't offer enough value. I think if they would have made the multiplayer and the campaign together, yeah, that would have been a $60 bundle. I think the campaign by itself, I genuinely don't believe it's worth $60 on its own. I still think it's really good so far for what I'm playing, and then, maybe my opinions might change as I go actually complete the whole thing. And who knows? I might even throw it into the Game of the Year nominee. I do feel like next year, though, Halo Infinite will be nominated in Game of the Year. I think that's a fair thing to say, given how well received it is, the success that 343 is having in regards to Halo Infinite. I think it will be nominated for Game of the Year next year. Next year is going to be a pretty brutal year for Game of the Year, given the fact that we have God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Breath of the Wild, the remake, or not the remake, but Breath of the Wild 2 specifically, Elden Ring, we have Halo Infinite, Pokemon Arceus, Bayonetta 3. We have like all these other games coming out, and overall, it's going to be a pretty brutal year for Game Awards. I think it will be. I do personally believe that if you have access to Xbox Game Pass, I think that's the best way to try out the campaign to see if you like it. I do think eventually, like, if I beat the campaign and I really enjoy it, I'm probably going to buy the campaign when it goes on sale, like, just so I have it on me. However, overall, I've been very pleased with what 343 has accomplished with Halo Infinite. I'm enjoying myself. I feel like it's a good step in the right direction, or I believe it's not even just a step. It's like a whole leap into the right direction. Like, it's a complete 180 from what we got with Halo 5. Like, this is truly a good Halo game that I could arguably say so far, if the campaign is as good as it is so far, I could see it being better than Halo Reach and Halo 3 ODST. I get it. The original trilogy is like sacred holy, especially because of how good the original trilogy is. I wouldn't be surprised if Halo Infinite, comes pretty close or manages to surpass one of the original three. Like, I still say my favorite campaign was Halo 3. I know some people say, hey, it's Halo 2's the best, brother. And I'm like, I think Halo 3 was the best one. It had the most impact out of the whole bunch. But, those are just my opinions. I will say, though, that we will be playing Halo Infinite for sure when we do the 1-year review of the Xbox Series X, because at this point, I've already had it for over a year, so it's about time that we do a 1-year review about it and give you my honest thoughts as a genuine consumer, not a reviewer, like just somebody that got the Series X when it came out day one, has been playing it since then. I've been enjoying it, and I'll be giving a lot more of my thoughts about that, and Halo Infinite will be in there as well, since that was supposed to be the launch game for the Series X. Heck, it's on the box. But overall, Halo Infinite, I think it's worth it. I think you should go out and buy it. I think if you personally, the multiplayer, you have no reason not to play it. It's literally free. Just download it, get on there, get gaming, homies. But I will say for the campaign, if you have Game Pass, I would take advantage of the Game Pass deals going on right now where you can get it for like $1 or like even just pay the month for it and play Halo Infinite's campaign. See what you think. I personally am liking it so far. I think you should only be playing on a Legendary. It will give you a good challenge and it makes it more enjoyable, to be honest. It's a much more rewarding experience overall. I will say, though, that the campaign's writing has been really good so far. It's really funny, and a lot of moments it's actually pretty funny. And I think just the whole interactions that you see with some of the in-game characters is just, it's really funny and rewarding. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know it's a little bit more of a review style, like talking about a video game, but I really am enjoying Halo Infinite, and I hope you guys do as well if you get to try it out. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? How do you guys feel about Halo Infinite if you played it? Are you going to try playing it just because of what I told you about it? To be honest, guys, give it a shot. I think it's worth it. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Again, the video stuff, we're still trying to get this to, work. It's kind of annoying, guys. I'm sorry. It's just kind of annoying that we can't get the video to work. But I thank you guys so much for your love, your patience with me. I really appreciate it, guys. It just means the world to me. I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week. Please continue to be safe out there. I know the world is still a weird place, guys. The world is still weird, guys. The only thing we really can do is just be kind and respectful to those around us and continue to take care of those around us. And as always, don't do anything dumb, guys. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.